99% of you are not subscribed to the channel. At 1,000 subscribers, I will post a series of special stories. Subscribe now.
The endless void of space stretched out in all directions, a vast canvas dotted with the twinkling lights of distant stars and swirling nebulas. Yet, within the heart of the Andromeda Galaxy, on the crystalline planet of Crystallis Prime, the greatest minds of the galaxy gathered for a meeting that would alter the course of history. The Galactic Council, a coalition of over 1,000 intelligent species from every corner of the galaxy, had convened an emergency session. The council chamber, a colossal structure carved from the purest crystal, gleamed with an ethereal light. Its walls, translucent and shimmering, reflected the vibrant hues of the council's many delegates, each representing a unique species with its own distinct physiology and culture. At the center of the chamber stood Commander Zevlon, a figure of immense authority and respect. Zevlon was a member of the Zephyrites, a species known for their sleek, elongated forms and skin that glowed with a soft luminescence, like liquid silver. His eyes, large and cat-like, scanned the chamber as he prepared to address the gathered representatives. "Esteemed members of the Galactic Council," Zevlon began, his voice resonating through the chamber with a tone of urgency. "We are here today to discuss a matter of great significance, one that could challenge everything we know about biology, chemistry, and the very fabric of life itself." The chamber fell silent as Zevlon activated a holographic display in the center of the room. The image of a small blue planet appeared, rotating slowly on its axis. Earth, the third planet from its sun, Sol. The council members watched in curiosity, many of them unfamiliar with this remote and seemingly insignificant world. "This," Zevlon continued, "is the planet Earth. It is home to a species that calls itself human. While their technology is primitive by our standards, they possess a trait that has confounded our scientists, a trait that may hold the key to understanding an entirely new branch of life." The holographic display shifted to show images of humans in various environments, walking through rain, swimming in oceans, and drinking water. The council members observed with growing bewilderment. "As you can see," Zevlon explained, "humans appear to be immune to water." A ripple of shock and disbelief spread through the chamber. Water, or the universal solvent as it was known, was a substance so corrosive and toxic that it was universally lethal to nearly all known forms of life. For centuries, it had been considered a fundamental constant, an element that could dissolve even the strongest materials and cause instant death to any being unfortunate enough to come into contact with it. Yet here was a species that not only survived in the presence of water, but seemed to require it for their very existence. The concept was almost too unbelievable to grasp. "Commander Zevlon," a voice called out from the assembly belonging to Counselor Vorek, a reptilian being with scales that shimmered like polished obsidian. "Are you suggesting that this species is somehow resistant to the effects of water? How is that possible?" Zevlon nodded solemnly. "The data we have collected is irrefutable. Humans not only survive but thrive on a planet covered in water. They drink it, bathe in it, and even build their civilizations around it. This defies all known science, and we must understand how this is possible." The chamber buzzed with heated discussion as the council members grappled with this revelation. Some proposed that the humans must have developed some form of advanced technology or biochemical shield, while others speculated that Earth might possess a different form of water altogether. Dr. Krail, one of the galaxy's foremost biologists, whose species, the Multarii, were known for their multi-limbed bodies and extensive knowledge of xenobiology, stepped forward. "If what you say is true, Commander, then this discovery could revolutionize our understanding of life itself. But we must proceed with caution. The implications are enormous. Could these humans pose a threat to the delicate balance of the galaxy?" Zevlon raised a hand to calm the assembly. "That is precisely why I propose that we send a delegation to Earth. We need to study these humans up close, understand the nature of their immunity, and determine if there are any broader risks or opportunities. This mission could have far-reaching consequences for the entire galaxy." The council members murmured in agreement, though many still appeared unsettled by the notion of a species immune to something as universally deadly as water. After a few moments of deliberation, the council reached a consensus. A delegation would indeed be sent to Earth, led by Commander Zevlon himself. Their mission, to uncover the truth behind humanity's mysterious resilience. As the session adjourned and the council members dispersed, Zevlon remained in the chamber, gazing at the holographic image of Earth. His thoughts were a whirlwind of anticipation and concern. What secrets did this small blue planet hold? And what would it mean for the future of the galaxy if those secrets were revealed? With a deep breath, Zevlon turned away from the hologram. The mission to Earth would be the most important of his career, perhaps of his entire life. The journey ahead was fraught with uncertainty, but one thing was clear. The discovery of humans' immunity to water would change everything, and the galaxy would never be the same again. The sleek silver craft of the Galactic Council delegation sliced through Earth's atmosphere like a whisper, its advanced cloaking technology rendering it invisible to human detection systems. Inside the craft, the delegation, composed of representatives from various species across the galaxy, prepared for their first direct contact with humanity. Commander Zevlon stood at the helm, his eyes fixed on the view screen that displayed the lush green landscape below. They had chosen a remote forested area far from any major human settlements to ensure their presence remained undetected. The ship's instruments scanned the surroundings, gathering data on the local flora and fauna, but Zevlon's thoughts were focused on the humans they were about to encounter. "Prepare for landing," Zevlon ordered, his voice calm but firm. The craft descended silently, touching down in a small clearing surrounded by towering trees. The delegation members, each equipped with specialized gear for Earth's environment, disembarked and began setting up their observation equipment. Dr. Krail, the multi-REI biologist, extended her multiple limbs, each one equipped with various scanning devices, and began analyzing the air, soil, and water samples from a nearby stream. Her many eyes blinked in unison as she processed the data in real time, searching for any clues that might explain humanity's unique relationship with water. "The composition of Earth's water is similar to that found elsewhere in the galaxy," Dr. Krail reported, her voice resonating with a hint of curiosity. "No immediate signs of any protective properties that could explain the human's immunity." Zevlon nodded, though the lack of new information only deepened the mystery. "We need to observe the humans directly. Let's move closer to their settlement." The delegation proceeded cautiously through the dense forest, their advanced suits allowing them to move silently and without leaving any trace of their presence. As they approached the outskirts of a small village, the first signs of human life came into view. A group of children played by a riverbank, their laughter echoing through the trees. They splashed in the water, completely oblivious to the danger that the delegation knew water posed to nearly every other species in the galaxy. For the delegation members, it was a surreal and unsettling sight. The water, which would have dissolved their own bodies within moments, seemed harmless to these human children. "They're completely unprotected," one of the scientists, a being with a crystalline form and a voice that sounded like chiming bells, whispered in disbelief. "No suits, no shields, nothing. How are they not disintegrating?" Zevlon watched intently, his mind racing with possibilities. "It's as if they're interacting with water as a natural part of their environment. We need to get closer. Dr. Krail, can you initiate a more detailed scan?" Dr. Krail nodded, extending a tendril-like limb toward the children. A faint pulse of light emanated from her scanning device, invisible to human eyes but allowing the delegation to analyze the children's biological makeup at a microscopic level. As the data streamed in, Dr. Krail's expression grew more perplexed. "Their cellular structure is extraordinary. Their cells are not only resistant to the corrosive effects of water, but they also appear to incorporate water into their biological processes. It's integral to their survival." Zevlon's brow furrowed. "What do you mean? How is that possible?" Dr. Krail hesitated before responding, her voice laced with awe. "It's as if their entire biology is designed to utilize water. Their cells absorb it, their bodies metabolize it, and their tissues remain unharmed. This level of adaptation is unprecedented. It's almost as if they've evolved in an environment where water is not a threat, but a necessity." The delegation members exchanged uneasy glances. This revelation turned everything they knew about life in the galaxy on its head. Water, the most dangerous substance known to intelligent life, was not just harmless to humans. It was essential to their existence. Zevlon's mind raced as he considered the implications. If they've evolved to thrive in such a hostile environment, what else might they be capable of? Could they have other adaptations that we haven't yet discovered? Before anyone could respond, the delegation's attention was drawn to a new group of humans approaching the river. These were adults, carrying baskets filled with clothes. The delegation watched as the humans knelt by the water's edge, dipping the clothes into the river and scrubbing them clean. Zevlon observed in silence, noting the ease with which the humans interacted with the water. their complete lack of concern for any potential danger. It was as if water was the most natural and benign substance in the universe, a concept that was utterly foreign to the delegation. As they continued their observations, the delegation members began to realize that water played a central role in nearly every aspect of human life. They saw humans using water for cooking, cleaning, agriculture, and even in their rituals and ceremonies. The connection between humans and water was profound, woven into the very fabric of their existence. But with each new discovery, Zevlan's unease grew. If humans were so uniquely adapted to water, what other surprises did they hold? Could there be hidden dangers lurking beneath their seemingly benign appearance? The delegation spent the following days observing humans in various environments, always with the same result. Whether in the rain, swimming in lakes, or simply drinking from a glass, humans interacted with water in ways that would be deadly to any other species. And yet, they remained unharmed, healthy, and even dependent on the very substance that was toxic to the rest of the galaxy. One evening, as the sun set and the sky turned a brilliant shade of orange, Zevlan gathered the delegation members in their hidden base camp. The mood was somber, tinged with both wonder and trepidation. "We've learned much in these past days," Zevlan began, addressing the group, "but we still have more questions than answers. Humans are unlike any species we've encountered. Their immunity to water is just the beginning. We need to understand the full extent of their adaptations and what it might mean for the galaxy." Dr. Krail, her many eyes blinking thoughtfully, added, "I've been analyzing their genetic material. While much of it is similar to other carbon-based life forms, there are unique sequences that we've never seen before. These sequences may hold the key to their immunity. We need more samples to continue our research." Zevlan nodded, but his mind was already on the next step. "Agreed. We'll gather more data, but we must also consider the implications of our findings. If humans are truly this resilient, they could be a powerful ally, or a formidable adversary. We need to proceed with caution." As the delegation prepared for the next phase of their mission, Zevlan couldn't shake the feeling that they were on the verge of uncovering something much larger than they had anticipated. The humans' immunity to water was just the tip of the iceberg. What else lay hidden beneath the surface, waiting to be discovered? And as the night deepened, the stars above glittering like distant beacons, Zevlan made a silent vow. Whatever they found, whatever secrets the humans held, he would ensure that the Galactic Council was prepared. The future of the galaxy might very well depend on it. The days passed swiftly as the delegation delved deeper into their study of the human species. Each new discovery only served to deepen the mystery and heighten the tension among the team. The humans' unique relationship with water was proving to be far more complex than they had initially anticipated. Commander Zevlan spent most of his time poring over the data collected by Dr. Krail and the other scientists. The more he learned, the more unsettled he became. Humans, it seemed, were not just immune to water. They were intrinsically connected to it in ways that defied all known science. In the makeshift laboratory they had established within their cloaked ship, Dr. Krail worked tirelessly, her many limbs moving with precision as she analyzed human samples. Blood, skin cells, hair, and even water collected from various human environments. The findings were nothing short of astounding. "Commander," Dr. Krail called out one evening, her voice tinged with excitement and concern. Zevlan joined her at the lab station, where a holographic display showed a detailed model of a human cell. "What have you found?" Zevlan asked, his eyes narrowing as he studied the display. Dr. Krail pointed to the cell's membrane. "Look at this. Human cells have a unique molecular structure that allows them to integrate water molecules directly into their cellular processes. Their cell membranes are not just resistant to water, they actually rely on it. Water is a fundamental part of their biochemistry." Zevlan's eyes widened in disbelief. "So, their cells are water-based?" "Precisely," Dr. Krail confirmed. "This is unlike anything we've seen in any other species. Their cells use water to transport nutrients, generate energy, and even repair damage. Without water, they would die, just as we would without air." Zevlan's mind raced as he considered the implications. And this explains why they're so dependent on water. But how did they evolve to survive in an environment so hostile to the rest of the galaxy? Dr. Krail hesitated before responding, her voice dropping to a somber tone. "I've been analyzing their genetic code, and I believe the answer lies in their evolutionary history. Earth's environment is rich in water, and over millions of years the ancestors of humans must have developed this unique adaptation to survive. Their entire evolutionary trajectory has been shaped by their relationship with water. Zevlon frowned. But what does this mean for their interactions with other species? Could they be immune to other substances that are harmful to us? Could they be a threat? Dr. Krail shook her head slowly. It's difficult to say. Their adaptation to water is unique, but we haven't seen any evidence that they're immune to other substances. However, their resilience does raise concerns. If they were to come into contact with other species, it's possible they could have an advantage in certain environments. We need more data. Zevlon nodded, though his unease only grew. The human's immunity to water was a profound adaptation, but it was also an unknown factor that could disrupt the delicate balance of the galaxy. What if there were other, even more dangerous aspects of humanity that they had yet to uncover? Later that night, as the delegation members slept, Zevlon stood alone on the ship's observation deck, staring out at the starry sky. The weight of responsibility pressed heavily on his shoulders. The Galactic Council had tasked him with understanding the humans, but the more he learned, the more he realized how little they truly knew. He thought back to the human settlements they had observed, the way humans interacted with water so casually, so naturally. To them, water was life itself, a concept that was completely alien to every other species in the galaxy. But what if this life-giving substance could also be a weapon? What if the human's unique biology could be turned against others? Zevlon's thoughts were interrupted by a soft chime from his communicator. It was a message from Dr. Krail, marked urgent. He quickly made his way to the lab where Dr. Krail was waiting with a grim expression. "We found something else," she said, her voice barely above a whisper. "Something that could change everything." She led him to a workstation where a series of genetic sequences were displayed. Zevlon recognized them as the unique sequences she had mentioned earlier, the ones that set humans apart from other species. "What is it?" Zevlon asked, his heart pounding in his chest. Dr. Krail pointed to a specific sequence. This sequence is responsible for the human's ability to metabolize water. But there's more. It also appears to be linked to their immune system, which is far more robust than we initially thought. Humans have an extraordinary ability to adapt to new environments and resist diseases. This could explain why they've survived on a planet that would be deadly to most other species. Zevlon's mind reeled. So they're not just immune to water, they're incredibly resilient in general. What are you saying, Dr. Krail? That they could survive in environments that would kill us? Dr. Krail nodded solemnly. Yes, and perhaps even thrive. Humans have the potential to be far more adaptable and resilient than any species we've encountered. This makes them both fascinating and dangerous. If they were to spread beyond Earth, they could become a dominant force in the galaxy. Zevlon's breath caught in his throat. The implications were staggering. Humanity's resilience, their immunity to water, their adaptability. These were not just quirks of evolution. They were the traits of a species that could one day challenge the established order of the galaxy. "We need to inform the Council immediately," Zevlon said, his voice trembling with urgency. "They need to know the full extent of what we've discovered." Dr. Krail agreed, but there was a look of worry in her many eyes. "Commander, this discovery could lead to unpredictable outcomes. We must be careful how we present this information. The Council might see humans as a threat, or worse, as a resource to be exploited." Zevlon understood the gravity of her words. The delicate balance of the galaxy was at stake, and the wrong move could spark a conflict that would engulf entire star systems. But he also knew that they could not keep this information hidden. The truth about humanity had to be revealed, no matter the cost. As the delegation prepared to return to Crystalis Prime, Zevlon couldn't shake the feeling that they were on the brink of something monumental. Humanity was not just another species. They were something different, something new, and the galaxy would never be the same again. The return to Crystalis Prime was swift, but the weight of their discoveries hung heavy over the delegation. Zevlon, Dr. Krail, and the other members spent the journey in deep contemplation, aware that the information they carried could change the fate of the galaxy. As their craft approached the crystalline planet, Zevlon prepared himself for the most important briefing of his career. The Galactic Council chamber was packed with representatives from every corner of the galaxy, all eager to hear the findings of the Earth delegation. The atmosphere was tense, a mixture of curiosity and apprehension. Zevlon took his place at the center of the chamber, his heart pounding as he prepared to address the council. "Esteemed members of the Galactic Council," Zevlon began, his voice steady but grave, We have returned from Earth with findings that are both extraordinary and troubling. Humanity, as we have discovered, is a species unlike any other in the galaxy. Their immunity to water is not merely an anomaly. It is a fundamental aspect of their biology, and it is only the beginning of what makes them unique. The chamber was silent. Every delegate focused intently on Zevlon's words. He activated the holographic display showing images of human cells, their unique molecular structure, and the genetic sequences Dr. Krail had identified. Human cells are water-based, Zevlon continued, and their entire biology is adapted to not just survive, but to thrive in an environment that would be lethal to nearly all other known species. This adaptation extends beyond water. Humans possess an extraordinary resilience, an ability to adapt to new environments, and a robust immune system that makes them capable of surviving in conditions that would be fatal to us. Murmurs of astonishment and concern rippled through the chamber. Counselor Vorek, the reptilian representative who had questioned Zevlon before, spoke up, his voice tinged with unease. Are you suggesting that humans could survive in any environment? That they could pose a threat to the rest of the galaxy? Zevlon met Vorek's gaze. I am suggesting that humans have the potential to be a dominant force if they were to spread beyond their home planet. Their adaptability and resilience could allow them to thrive in environments that would be inhospitable to other species. This makes them both a potential ally and a possible threat, depending on how we choose to engage with them. The council chamber erupted into heated debate. Some delegates argued that humanity should be monitored closely, even contained, to prevent them from becoming a threat. Others saw potential in forming an alliance with humans, harnessing their unique abilities for the greater good of the galaxy. Dr. Krail, who had remained silent until now, stepped forward. There is another consideration, she said, her voice calm but firm. The humans' relationship with water, their adaptability. It is a sign of their potential. But it is also a sign of their fragility. They are still evolving, still finding their place in the universe. How we choose to interact with them will shape their future and, by extension, the future of the galaxy. Zevlon nodded in agreement. We have a responsibility not just to ourselves but to the humans as well. We must approach this situation with caution but also with a sense of opportunity. If we can guide humanity, if we can help them understand their place in the galaxy, we could forge a powerful alliance. But if we act out of fear, we risk creating a new enemy. The council deliberated for hours, weighing the risks and opportunities presented by the humans. The debate was fierce with no easy answers, but in the end, a decision was reached. The Galactic Council would establish a covert observation and protection program on Earth. This program would monitor human development, guide them subtly when necessary, and ensure that they did not pose a threat to the stability of the galaxy. At the same time, the Council would prepare for the possibility of future contact, laying the groundwork for a potential alliance with humanity. As the session adjourned and the delegates began to leave, Zevlon felt a mixture of relief and unease. The decision had been made, but the path ahead was fraught with uncertainty. The humans were an unknown factor, a species that could either bring great benefit or great danger to the galaxy. Dr. Krail approached Zevlon as the chamber emptied, her many eyes reflecting the light of the crystal walls. We've done what we can, she said quietly. Now it's up to the galaxy to decide how to proceed. Zevlon nodded, though his thoughts were still racing. I just hope we've made the right choice. The humans, they're not just another species. They're something more, and I fear that whatever happens next, it will change everything. As the delegation prepared to return to their respective worlds, Zevlon took one last look at the holographic image of Earth. The small blue planet, so seemingly insignificant in the vastness of space, had become the center of a new chapter in galactic history. The future was uncertain, but one thing was clear. The discovery of humanity's immunity to water was just the beginning. The galaxy would never be the same again, and neither would the Galactic Council. A new order was emerging, one that would be shaped by the decisions made today.